I think it's pretty safe to say that the future of the Star Wars franchise seems to be quite expansive, not just with their books, novels, comics, and video games, but also, let's not forget about their new live-action Star Wars TV series, as well as the animated TV shows and the new Star Wars trilogy to arrive in the near future by Disney and Lucasfilm. This is Mike Zero. Make sure to subscribe if you are new to the channel for future Star Wars content. Now, the one thing about Disney Star Wars is that we do know that as of this moment right now, they are really in a phase of damage control and desperation in order to really regain many of the lost fans from the sequel trilogy movies. We've seen, of course, a lot of fans move away from the Skywalker saga indefinitely. A lot of fans are pretty much just fed up with Star Wars. However, if we look ahead, looking at Disney Plus, it really does show us a sign of hope. It shows us a light at the end of the tunnel. Not just for the TV shows, but also for the movies that are on the table. And I think a lot of this has to do with the fact that Kathleen Kennedy no longer has a creative say in the matter over Jon Favreau, Dave Filoni, and George Lucas, and others. Now, with that being said, of course, The Rise of Skywalker had a very shaky production, as I like to say, because it went through two different phases of reshoots. One major reshoot process in the middle of 2018, leading all the way to the very end of 2018. And, of course, we had another one in mid-2019 as well. So, with that being said, of course, like I've said before in the past, Kathleen Kennedy really doesn't know what she's doing with Star Wars. We've seen this inconsistency issue when it comes to production, of how she's always either canceling projects or reshooting elements of the Star Wars projects and so on and so forth. Now, with that being said, of course, what's really intriguing all has to do with actor Hayden Christensen. With both Disney and Lucasfilm now finished with The Rise of Skywalker, they are focused on their new Star Wars universe, as well as the new Star Wars trilogy of films that will be released in the near future. It's explained that currently Bob Iger and Bob Chapek are working closely with George Lucas, Dave Filoni, and even Jon Favreau to create new, authentic stories for the new expanded universe. It's said that many changes have been made to the new Star Wars universe by Bob Chapek by providing Star Wars Legends material to make a major return in the Star Wars franchise for the entire fandom to enjoy. Now, it's explained that behind the scenes, actor Hayden Christensen has been very frustrated and livid with Lucasfilm's Kathleen Kennedy for reducing his role in The Rise of Skywalker to only a Force Ghost voice, and that he was supposed to get proper treatment by J.J. Abrams, George Lucas, and Chris Terrio in order to reprise his role as Anakin Skywalker. So far, Hayden has been in the talks with George Lucas to return as both Anakin Skywalker and Darth Vader for multiple projects in the coming years for Disney Plus on multiple TV shows. And that during this exchange, Hayden was said to have expressed his major disappointment and frustration with Kathleen Kennedy for what she did with the role of Anakin Skywalker in the Star Wars universe. Now, it's said that Hayden Christensen is already in the works with Dave Filoni, Jon Favreau, and Lucas to come back as Anakin and Vader for the Kenobi TV series, which is still set to begin filming sometime in early 2021 next year. Now, it's said that Hayden Christensen wants nothing to do with Kathleen Kennedy, and that since she is no longer having the ability to gain control on a creative level, thankfully she won't have any control over any of the projects that Hayden Christensen is said to be attached to for the new Star Wars universe that will be mainly on Disney Plus and other formats as well. George Lucas is said to be the one to want to satisfy the Star Wars fandom in order to create a new hope for the franchise moving forward, and that what they want to do in the long run is to make this new EU far larger than the old one seen in the 1990s. Now, additionally, it's described that Dave Filoni and Jon Favreau are already working on pre-production for many of the projects that Hayden will be involved in. Originally, Hayden Christensen had many important scenes for The Rise of Skywalker that are now being considered to be used in the JJ cut, or the 4-hour cut of The Rise of Skywalker, that of course Chapek plans to release sometime in 2023 on Disney Plus, which is around 3 years from now. Now, Kathleen Kennedy behind the scenes is still working closely with Leslie Headland to create a new Star Wars TV series that will break some rules and traditions of the Star Wars brand. So let me say one thing right here, is that this was a major disappointment by many fans, and of course to many of the creatives on board with The Rise of Skywalker, was the fact that Kathleen Kennedy just took the idea of Anakin out of the film and reduced him down to a Force Ghost voice role. In case you guys did not know, the Force Ghost voice of Anakin at the very end of Episode 9 was actually dialogue taken from an actual live-action scene between both Hayden and Daisy as Rey and Anakin Skywalker in a place called the Lost City. We talked about this 6 to 7 months ago. The Lost City was actually going to be one of the key scenes on the world of Pisana that would take place underneath the surface of that world, that would hold secret Jedi lore and Sith lore as well. So, with that being said, guys, like I've said before in the past, Hayden has every right to feel very frustrated and livid with Kathleen, and I'm glad that he's on board with George, John, and Dave, as I like to call them, FFL. Now, like I've said before, guys, drop a comment below, let me know what you think about all of this in the comments, and if you guys did enjoy the content for today, do make sure to drop a thumbs up on this video to support the channel. I thank you all so very much for the kind support, and I'll catch you guys next time.
From night to moon, we hear them moans again.